Hey, yo, peace to the family. Just got through looking at a whole lot of content. Shout out to CJ Goodfella. Shout out to Ring IQ, Jules. Shout out to Bruce Vane. Shout out to Blue Blood. I just got through looking at all y'all videos. And I just got through looking at an Instagram post, not an Instagram post, but a Twitter post. X, I like watching X because it'd be so much dumb motherfuckers on X. But that's neither here nor there. About Samson Lewis, right? And, you know, Jerome Boots Ennis, the black fighter from Philadelphia, is one of the hottest names in the sport of boxing right now, especially here in America. You know, he has the flash, he has the pizzazz, he brings excitement when he fights, right? And now there is currently going to be a hit piece put out on him. Now, again, this is what I had the issue with Boots with, was because, you know, you went to the other side to try to help Canelo beat Terrence Crawford. Now, those very same Mexican fans or those Mexican-American fans who are not Mexican, their nationality is American, but they from Mexican descent, now they finna turn on your ass. Yeah, but me, I'm gonna stay on code. I address you later on the other shit. But that's neither here nor there. Now I'm looking at Samson Lewis. I want y'all to look at this here, right? Because for years we've been hearing that, you know, black fighters can't sell, he can't do this, he can't do that, and they need us, and yada, 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 yada. You made it something other than what it was supposed to be. See, the one thing about Coach Malachi, I ain't got to pander to nobody, because I don't give a fuck about the other side. I don't care nothing about the Mexican-American fan base. I don't care nothing about the Mexican fan base. I don't care nothing about the black American fan base who want a coon for the other side. If you want a coon, buck dance, jigaboo, knee slap, ham bone, buck dance for butter biscuits, guess what?
Oh, Miss Hillary. Oh, so good to see you, Miss Hillary. I love you, Miss Hillary. Welcome to TV1. Oh, Lord. I dance with master. I dance with master. I dance with master. I dance with master.
I'm not here to pander to that. I give 25 bucks. You get what I'm saying? But let me break this down like a 57 Chevy. Now, looking at doggone this post, got it right here in my hand. And Skimpson says that, you know, this defense against some dude he's supposed to be fighting, I can't even pronounce his name Ermal or whatever the case may be, is mandatory. Then it would be Boots. And he says, I'd rather fight a unification with Boots than to fight Vergil. And he says, there's nothing against Vergil. He's a good fighter, but he's not a great fighter. And he doesn't sell. Let's stop right there. So Skimpson said that Vergil Ortiz doesn't sell. He's not a draw, right? The only Mexican that sells is Canelo Alvarez. Mexican-American fighters don't sell. A lot of black fighters don't sell. Only the top name guys. Did you get what I'm saying? So this is what he's saying. What I like to say to Samson is this. Samson, Sebastian Fundora don't sell. Whatever Vergil Ortiz sells or don't sell, Sebastian Fundora is worse than him. Sebastian Fundora don't have a fan base. He's Mexican-American. Last time I checked, him and Vergil Ortiz are two Mexican-American fighters. If Vergil Ortiz can't sell, and he do like 4, 5, 6,000, 8,000, you know, in Grand Prairie, Texas. That's where he fights at. You know what I mean? He does so there. You know what I mean? Fundora is doing less than that. And you saying that you're going to fight your mandatory. Well, guess what? Vergil, haven't you been to, and I said this, I'm the one dropped the bomb on this 2 weeks ago. I got the video, I have the live show. I'll pull it up for y'all later. Vergil, you've been the interim champion since 2024. Sebastian Fundora has been the WBC champion since 2024. How does a guy who we never heard of before, who is ranked #1, behind Vergil has the interim title, but yet Vergil is not pushing to fight Sebastian Fundora? You've been over there 2 years. Boots was still at doggone welterweight.
In men's junior middleweight news, Fundora will fight Boots, not Vergil Ortiz. Samson Lewkowicz said this defense against Ermal Hadrabayej is a mandatory, then it will be Boots. I'd rather go to a unification with Boots than fight Vergil. So now, Ortiz is 2 years away. He's a good fighter, not a great fighter, but he doesn't sell, and he has the wrong management. He's supposed to be the mandatory, but thanks to his management fighting with De La Hoya, he lost the opportunity, so who's afraid? His boxer should be afraid of his manager. Now, he will wait. You're always hearing this used car salesmen talk about so-and-so's gotta wait, so-and-so's gotta wait. That's what they said about Crawford when they were shamelessly vying for a Spence fight. Now they're saying that about Vergil Ortiz. Is there any reason in particular that they might have a preference, why they would prefer to fight Boots instead of fighting Vergil? People in boxing always speak in codes. They never give it to you straight and tell you what they really think, but there is always something behind what they say. So is there a reason they might have a preference for Boots instead of Vergil? I think ain't gonna fight either of them. It's easy to say we're not fighting Vergil, but we will fight Boots because it sounds good and because Boots is buzzing right now. I don't actually believe it coming from Sampson Lukowicz. I don't think they want to fight Boots, but they are feeling some pressure to fight someone good. If they do end up fighting, then great. But I'm not going to believe it coming from Sampson Lukowicz. Don't forget, these are the same people that tried to use Spence, coming off a loss, to duck Crawford. I don't believe it coming from them. And these are the same people that surrendered the WBO title to Xander Zayas. I don't believe it coming from them. The excuse now is we're not going to fight Vergil because we have to fight our mandatory Ermal Hadrabayaj. But what was Ender? He was your mandatory. And when he was your mandatory and pushing for the fight, you surrendered the brown belt. So now I'm supposed to believe the guys who ducked Xander Zayas are gonna fight the guy that just beat Xander Zayas, the guy that knocked him out. Sounds good. Sampson Lukowicz has been telling the media that Ermal Hadrabayaj, who's currently ranked at number 1 via the World Boxing Council, is the mandatory challenger. But we haven't heard that from the World Boxing Council. We haven't heard that from Mauricio himself. I'm still waiting. And I'm of the opinion what they're doing behind the scenes is petitioning the WBC to have Ermal installed as their mandatory.
See, this is, and then now, what I'm seeing now, I'm seeing Rick Glazier. Shout out to Rick. I ain't really got nothing bad to say about him, but other than that, I totally disagree with his position. I understand that because Rick is down with Golden Boy. And if you see anything that Rick Glazier says, it's pretty much pro Golden Boy. Never criticizes them because that's where he make his money at. That's who butters his bread. That's how Rick roll. Fine, no problem. But now they're putting out a hit piece saying that, well, Boots Ennis is avoiding Vergil Ortiz. He's ducking Boots. See, Boots, he's ducking Vergil. See, Boots, see, this is what happened, right? When you try to pander to that side, now they turning on you. Now they're going to label you a duck because you don't want to fight Vergil. I just got through seeing the video from Eddie Hearn. I'm going to drop a video on that about all of the stuff that you had to concede to in order to fight Vergil Ortiz.
We accepted that fight and signed for that fight. Boots had to take less money than Vergil Ortiz because they wouldn't take it unless he did. Boots had to be the B side. They said it has to be Ortiz against Boots. I said, why? No one's got a world championship. No, we're not taking the fight unless it is. Okay. They even asked him to cut his beard and not wear colourful gloves. All of the things that he agreed to do to have the opportunity to prove he was the best.
And this is exactly why I said for Team Ennis to move on from a Ortiz fight. Don't nobody got to put up with that. That's why I say go straight into Josh Kelly. Nobody has time for Robert Garcia and Vergil Ortiz diva escapades. Basically believing you're supposed to be over Boots because you are a Latino. That's all that stuff is about. That's all that stuff is about. And if you're trying to do all that, you're not trying to fight anyway. All right. So go ahead and go on to the Josh Kelly. Don't even entertain them. Don't double back on them. Don't do nothing. It's got to be penalties paid for not accepting fights. Then doubling back when stuff gets popping, or when you end up needing the money, or you trying to exit, or you trying to do whatever, or you trying to sell a belt. Now you looking for those same fighters to make you an offer. And y'all keep the fans in limbo. Don't nobody got no time for that.
They said that you had to agree to shaving your beard. You had to be the B side. You had to change your outfit. You can't wear gloves that makes you look flashy or whatever the case may be. You conceded to all of that. To fight a motherfucker who can't even sell. Vergil Ortiz is not a draw nowhere outside of Grand Prairie, Texas. Nowhere. Did you get what I'm saying? He's the biggest hype job in boxing. Literally. They don't hype him up, trying to make him like he's some kind of killer. He ain't killed nobody. He fighting old, washed up black fighters, whooping them. You see what I'm saying? And they hyping them up. And they did the same thing to Vergil. They did the same thing to you, the Vergil that they did to you. They attached both of y'all names to Terrence Crawford. Crawford retired, he gone. Now, guess what? They finna turn on you, boy. I'm gonna show y'all that video that I dropped not too long ago. I'm gonna try to add it in this clip when I edit it. They finna turn on you, boy. I did a whole show on that. Did you get what I'm saying? So I say all that to say this. You know, Sampson told the truth. He said that, look, man, Vergil Ortiz is not a draw. He can't sell. But what you forgot to add is Sebastian Fundora can't sell. He sell less than Vergil. Hell, I probably can come out of retirement right now and fight. And goddamn it, I ain't never been a pro, but I probably can come out right now and fight and be a bigger draw than Sebastian Fundora because of my popularity. Did you get what I'm saying? So I say all that to say this: both of y'all need Boots Ennis.
So is Vergil probably up next for Boots?
Man, no. The reason why? Because all that stuff Vergil was doing, it had to be in an act. Now him and De La Hoya back together, talking about fighting Boots and all that. Y'all made us wait. We wanted to fight right then. You know what I mean? You had us around waiting, and now y'all back together. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? You gonna have to be on the back of the end, at the end of the line.
He's at the end of the line now?
He gonna have to be at the end of the line. You had us waiting all this time, and you didn't want to fight. You heard what Boots said. You want to get going after the belts. You want to be, you know, undisputed at that weight. So that's what we're gonna do.
If Sebastian Fundora Sampson was such a draw, let's see how many tickets he sell in this next fight. And Vergil, how you been an interim champion for 2 years? You've been a pro since 2016. You've been a pro for 10 years. And as I said before, I'm the one put that on blast. You know, said it with a bullhorn. You've been a pro for 10 years, fam, and you ain't never been a champion. You are the undisputed interim title holder, you know what I mean, of the world. You the greatest interim title holder that boxing has ever seen. Oscar De La Hoya does his job and putting a spin on it. And guess what? You ain't even like Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar, the one thing I say about you, you may wear fishnets, you may pitch and catch, you may play with boys and girls, you may snort that powder, that cocaine, because we know you're a drug addict. And I'm not saying allegedly. Sue me. But I say all that to say this. Yeah, I would love that publicity. I really would. When Oscar was a fighter, Oscar fought everybody. From Ike Cortez to Tito Trinidad, Julio Cesar Chavez, even though Chavez was 100 years old when he fought him, but that's neither here nor there. Floyd Mayweather. You know, he fought Vargas. Look at Oscar De La Hoya resume. He fought doggone Bernard Hopkins. Got knocked out. You know, he fought Pernell Whitaker. They robbed Whitaker. Did you get what I'm saying? Like, look at his resume. See, the reason why Sebastian Fundora and Vergil Ortiz can't sell, you not even moving the way Oscar De La Hoya moved. You should have been fought for a title. You should have been a champion, Vergil. You playing games with the WBC Mauricio Suleiman, your Mexican brother. Even though you're American, you know what I mean? Y'all playing that game with him. No, just don't worry about it. Just continue to fight for the interim title. You ain't want no smoke. You ain't want to be no champion. And then your manager, Rick, he's saying that Vergil Boots want to continue to fight for meaningless belts. No. Boots want to become undisputed. Boots cares about legacy. And again, I'm not a Boots Ennis. I'm not a fan of him like that. But I got to call a spade a spade. One thing about me, I can not like a fighter or not be that crazy about a fighter, but still be objective and call it right down the middle. I'm going to ride with Boots on this because I'm going to stay on code, even though that nigga ain't on code for nothing. But that's neither here nor there. I think that's them new Philly niggas. Them new Philly niggas don't know what the code is. The old school cats that I know from Philly, they really own that code shit. But that's okay because I'm on it too, really. But I understand I can't hold y'all accountable to that. It is what it is. But them same fans that you were pandering to, guess what? Guess what they finna do to you, boy? They finna shit on you. They doing it now. They doing it now. You got Rick Glazier on Twitter saying that, you know, you ducking Vergil Ortiz. The same Vergil who ducked you by starting a fake beef with his promoter, him and his promoter, and then they sued each other and all this stuff there, and then conveniently They just friends again, and they squashed everything. Went to court, squashed everything. Now they back in love again, and they calling your name. Well, Boots, if you ain't nobody and you're really the B-side, why he chasing you? Why he not trying to fight his other Mexican-American brother, Sebastian Fundora? Why he not trying to fight him? If Boots ain't nobody, okay, if Boots ain't nobody and Boots is a duck, then leave him alone then. Go fight your own people. You want to know why you can't fight him? Because for some reason, you ain't never want to fight Sebastian Fundora to become a champion. I don't want to hear about a call out. Nigga, did you do it? Yes or no? Make it happen. You got a Mexican sanctioning body in Mauricio Suleiman. That's his belt. You got a Mexican-American in Vergil Ortiz, and you got a Mexican-American in Sebastian Fundora, and Sebastian Fundora has the belt. And you trying to tell me y'all couldn't fight each other? Thank God for Xander Zayas, the Puerto Rican. Shout out to Xander Zayas. Xander Zayas dropped his nuts, got his ass beat and knocked out, got dropped multiple times, and then got stopped and quit. He did that. Did you get what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what his corner did. He should have stood back up. No, I want to continue to fight. But that's okay. Xander Zayas, shout out to you, though. You kind of chinny now. You got dropped multiple times. You chinny. I say that because when the black fighter get dropped, y'all say he chinny, right? So guess what? Xander Zayas is chinny, too. I know I'm all over the place, but don't worry about it. I'm taking the shotgun approach. I'm hitting everybody. I ain't missing nobody. I'm hitting everybody. As I said before, we team for the other side. I'm not here to make no friends at all. Literally, I'm not. Care nothing about your friendship, sir. But anyways, so yeah, now Rick Glazer is saying that Boots is a duck. How you gonna duck a nigga who ducked you? Not worried about the past. I'm talking about this recently, what recently happened. Boots Ennis, if I'm you, sir, I will continue to go on my quest to become undisputed. Because that's what's going to be remembered. Vergil Ortiz ain't going nowhere. He ain't no champion. He ain't got no belt. He really don't bring nothing to the table. Vergil, if you really want to get that Boots fight, what you need to do is try to cut off, prevent Boots from getting all those belts. You need to try to get you one of those belts, like an Infinity Stone. Because Thanos is looking for the Infinity Stones. He's looking for the IBF title. I think he has that. He's looking for the WBO title. I think he has that. He wants the ring. He don't have that yet. He wants the WBC and the WBA. I don't know which ones he have, but I know he have 2 belts. You see what I'm saying? He wants that. Once Thanos get those 5 rings, then you you maybe can be a priority if that's what you want. Don't let them try to see they trying to scandalize your name or try to bully you, and they're gonna use all these bots and these hoe ass racist motherfuckers on Twitter to sit back and try to push that, oh man, Boots a duck, this and that. That's what they want to do. Listen, if we can't sell and we ain't no draw and we need y'all, why the fuck you keep motherfucker trying to chase Boots? I gotta call a spade because I don't give a fuck about y'all, to be honest with you. I don't like you. Your fan bases are dick suckers. Don't like you. Did you get what I'm saying? Just gotta call it like it is, baby boy. The reality of the situation is this. Boots Ennis is in the driver's seat. Oscar De La Hoya, continue to snort your coat. Find another washed up black fighter who ain't really doing nothing. Put Vergil in there with that, and y'all keep using Boots' name to build Vergil up. Because Vergil ain't got nothing going on. Hype job. I said that. Coach Malachi, TMP, True Media Podcast. I go live 3 o'clock. I drop a lot of videos. I'm here. Don't need your friendship. Don't need it, fam. Care nothing about you. You get in a plane crash, I won't care. Won't shed a tear. Don't have any emotional attachment to you. Right? But Sebastian Fundora is not a draw. He ain't nobody. He just a tall, lanky motherfucker. He can fight, though. He can fight. I give him that. He can fight, but he doesn't, he don't talk. He hide behind his promoter. And when he talk real soft, like a bitch. When Boots came to Grand Prairie, Texas, and he stepped inside that ring, because I was on Boots' head prior to then. I was on his bumper. I was on Vergil Ortiz bumper too. Because I'm not pro neither one of you guys. But when Boots dropped his nuts and went to Texas and came to your hometown, Vergil, in front of your daddy, your mammy, your trainer, your cokehead promoter, your manager, and in front of all of those Texans out there, Mexican Americans out there. And when he stepped in that ring and he pointed at you, He said, I'm gonna make you pay. I'm gonna make you pay, I promise you. And you said, yeah, I think we need to make that fight. We need to do that. And then 5 minutes later, you beefing with Oscar, y'all got a lawsuit, and lo and behold. So now, but that's water under the bridge. The dismerchification campaign to try to get Boots in the ring next. No. Boots, you don't have to stop. They don't dictate nothing. I just heard what Eddie Hearn said. Eddie Hearn said that, Boots had conceded he had to cut his beard, he had to run 10 miles a day of the fight, he couldn't rehydrate after the weigh-in, he had to do 500 push-ups in the ring the day of the fight, he had to do all these things just to try to give you some type of advantage in the ring, and you said you were the A side. You ain't never been a champion. Boots was a unified champion in welterweight division. Vergil Ortiz, you ain't unified nothing.
We accepted that fight and signed for that fight. Boots had to take less money than Vergil Ortiz because they wouldn't take it unless he did. Boots had to be the B side. They said it has to be Ortiz against Boots. I said, why? No one's got a world championship. No, we're not taking the fight unless it is. Okay. They even asked him to cut his beard and not wear colourful gloves. All of the things that he agreed to do to have the opportunity to prove he was the best.
When I look in the history books right now in 2026, right now, today, to this day, it'll say that you ain't never been a champion. Never. What Mexican-American fighter who been boxing for 10 years has never been a champion? Make that make sense. Bam Rodriguez is a champion. Shout out to Bam. I like Bam. Oscar De La Hoya was a multi-division champion. Oscar, I loved you as a fighter. You know what? I wasn't really crazy about you like that, but I respected you as a fighter because you fought everybody. But as a promoter, you moving like a sissy, Oscar. You move like a sissy, Oscar. Y'all got that Golden Boy Witness Protection Program over there. Golden Boy, y'all got them. Y'all got the black fighters in the Witness Protection Program, and you got the Mexican American fighters in the Witness Protection Program, and the Mexican fighters in the Witness Protection Program. Golden Boy roster, your fighters, the black and Mexican American fighters are some of the biggest hype jobs in the history of boxing. Literally. Trash, as Bubba Dub would say. So Boots, again, my advice to you, sir, continue to do what you're doing. Go get those belts. Vergil Ortiz bring nothing to the table. He gonna be there. He ain't going nowhere. The fight gonna be there. Go fight Josh Kelly. Get that belt from him. Scampson with his no-selling fighter and the praying mantis. I call Sebastian Fundora the praying mantis. Tall, lanky motherfucker. 6'6", 154 pounds. I don't even know how you make that weight. But that's neither here nor there. I like your sister, Gabriella Bella. She can fight. Gabriella, that girl can fight. Now, I'm a big fan of hers. She don't move like no bitch like her brother. Right? But go get those belts, fam. Become undisputed so you can be in the history books. Vergil, continue to do what you're doing. You in the history books already. You are the undisputed interim champion of the world. Go hug Mauricio Suleiman, and Mauricio Suleiman going to talk to you. Well, don't worry about it, Vergil. Just continue to be the WBC interim champion, and one day your time will come, and don't worry about that. Yeah, just continue to do that. Because we see what's going on. One big happy family over there. I'm going to call a spade a spade. Again, I'm from Tampa, Florida, so I ain't got no bond with neither one of you motherfuckers, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? I'm down with TMP. But Boots, I'm going to be on code on this one. I'm going to ride with you on this. Not because I'm crazy about you, I'm not. But I'm going to be on code on this one. You need to continue to do what you're doing. You see how they shitting on you? Just like what Terrence Crawford said on the Breakfast Club. He said that, look, Boots going to see what it feel like. He said when they turn on him, he going to see what it feel like. Now he going to see. Because I was talking to Bud about that. They're going to turn on you, boy. Yeah, they're going to turn on you. Yeah, they're going to do that.
But he don't know that those same people is going to be turning against him in a minute.
Like they did you.
You know what I mean? And then he's going to be at a point where he's going to be like, dang, I'm talented, but I'm not getting any credit. Oh, well, everything I do, they say, oh, you supposed to do that. every person I beat, they're gonna be like, oh, you supposed to beat him.
Right.
He's gonna get to that point where he's gonna be like, dang. Then it's gonna be another fighter that come along, and they're gonna start comparing him to him, and then they're gonna start taking all the credit away from him. Now, some people gonna give him credit, you know, but he's gonna deal with the same thing that Floyd dealt with, Terrence Crawford dealt with, Andre Ward, Shakur is dealing with right now. And history gonna repeat itself. You know, he's gonna deal with the same things that everybody before him dealt with. And then he gonna have to handle that.
You're gonna see what it feel like. Now you're gonna see what Black Freezer had to go through. You know who Black Freezer is? Black Freezer is Terrence Crawford. That's what I call him. I call him Black Freezer. He's retired, 40, he's gone. Your turn now. You dictate everything from this point forward. Don't let no non-selling Mexican-American fighter that's a hype job dictate anything for you. Y'all can take this video how you want to take it. I don't give a fuck. I don't care nothing about you bootlicks, you buck dancers. I don't care what you say on Twitter. I really don't give a damn. Coach Malachi standing on business, and that's why they don't sell. See, you gotta see what you gotta do. Y'all gotta get y'all people to back y'all. Vergil, you gotta show that you can sell all over. Vergil, Sebastian, get your people behind you. Your people ain't backing you. We just saw a fight with Diego Pacheco, another Mexican-American fighter. He had 25 people out there watching him. 25. Literally. He can't sell. He not a draw. So y'all need to come together and figure this shit out. Vergil, you played yourself like a real sucker. You should have been fought for a title. Stop hiding behind your manager. Stop hiding behind your promoters. Guess what? They work for you. You don't work for them. Tell them, look, this is what I want to get done. That's what I do like about Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn gonna do what his fighter tell him to do. Vergil Ortiz do the total opposite. They know you want to try to get money and stuff like that, a couple dollars and all that stuff there, but you ain't got no fan base like that outside of Grand Prairie, Texas. You can't sell. And Sebastian Fundora, you really can't sell. You worse than Vergil. You can't talk. You don't have an exciting personality. Neither one of y'all do. You don't see people in the mainstream media on ESPN talking about, yeah, man, you know, boy, look at that fight, doing the Matrix and all that stuff. You like Boots is an entertaining fighter. If he ain't nothing else, he that. Oh, you know, if I would have hit him in the third round, the way Fundora, the way Xander would have hit him, what you think would have happened? We don't want to have that. What you think would have happened? We don't give a fuck about what you think would have happened. You didn't fight him. When he came to your city, stepped in the ring, and he conceded to all that bullshit that Eddie Hearn just revealed, he conceded to all of that. Guess what? You went and hiding. You ain't had nothing to say. You started back talking after Boots the week of the fight, and then after Boots had them beat Xander Zayas and knocked him out, made him quit, that's when you came back out of hiding and started talking again. You tucked your tail and went back to Grand Prairie. Hide behind your daddy and your mammy. Coked out Oscar and Rick. That's what you did. Meridian, that is. That's what you did. Now you need Boots. If you didn't need him, you wouldn't be calling him out. Then you're going to try to reverse it and try to tell him, say he ducking. Nah, we standing on business on this one, y'all. We standing on business on this one. That's what it's going to be. If I hurt your feelings, I do not care. I'm not in the feelings business, and I'm not here to pander. I don't need you. Didn't need you then, don't need you now. You dig? Catch you on the next one. Peace. True, true, true.